Today I'm going to show you step by step how to cut boys' or men's hair at home in the simplest way possible. For this haircut, we'll be demonstrating a low fade on the side and back, and a classical trim on top. In order to make a proper fade on the sides and back, you will have to create fade lines around the head and blend them together. For each fade line, we will use different clipper guard settings, size 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2. The fade lines will determine where the hair transitions from a shorter length to a longer length. Start with the lowest fade line 0 and shave all the hair below it. Fade line 0 starts slightly above the top of the ear and curves down along the occipital bone at the back of the head. Set the clipper to number 0. That's bare blades with no guard attachment, and the lever is all way up. Don't forget to keep the hair dry, as it will be much easier to work with and won't clog up the clippers. To produce a clean straight line, just reverse the clippers. Carefully place the reversed clippers at a right angle to the head, tips of the blades slightly touching the skin. Tidy up the edges in order to make this cut as clean as possible. Hair below line 0 should be cut against the direction the hair normally grows. Take your time with this step and make sure that no patches are left behind. Do the same on the other side and always remember to check both sides. Doing this will ensure a symmetrical haircut. Don't forget to clean up any stray hairs on the neck below hairline. For the next step, simply create another fade line with the clippers set to 0.5. This new fade line should be about half an inch above the 0 fade line. Set the clippers to 0.5. That's bare blades with no guard attachment and the lever all the way down. Start below the previous fade line and work upward in short, even strokes. You will notice that the 0 fade line disappears as it will gradually blend into the new fade line. Gently fold the ears forward when cutting around them in order to get a more accurate, precise, and safer cut. Try to keep as consistent as possible all the way around the head, moving the clippers sideways over the fade line with multiple short strokes, up and out in a scooping motion. And remember to shave against the direction of hair growth. This will guarantee a smooth fade transition. Next, for the 1.0 fade line, simply repeat the process again, another ½ inch higher on the head, with the clippers guard attachment number 1, but this time with the lever up. Basically, switching to longer clipper guards as you move up to each new fade line will produce a smooth fade look. When done correctly, it should be a nice, even fade with no visible lines remaining. Next, repeat the process another ½ inch higher to create fade line 1.5. This time, set your clipper guard to 1.5. That is clippers with guard attachment number 1 and lever all the way down. For the final step, we use guard attachment number 2 and keep the lever up. Repeat the previous process, again another ½ inch higher, however this time using a scoop-out motion, as this makes it easier to blend with the longer hair on top afterwards. Next, blend the top into the sides. There are different ways to do this, but today I will show the clipper over comb technique. Start with your comb slightly below the blend line, pointing the comb directly upwards. The hair protruding from the comb will act as a guide for the desired length. Comb upwards till the shorter clipped hair disappears behind the comb. Then tilt the comb away from the head. Hold your comb still and cut the excess longer hair. If possible, use a bigger comb for this technique, as it will make smoother blending. Repeat this process, gradually trimming down the longer top hair till it blends in with the shorter clipped hair. Be careful and cut a little bit less than needed. Instead, repeat the process to acquire the desired length. If you prefer, you can use scissors for blending. Check my other videos for scissor over comb technique. Once the blending is finished, you can move on to the top section. I'm going to use scissors for the top section, so make sure to wet the hair as that will make it much easier to cut. First, you need to cut a guideline. It's an imaginary line from the forehead to the crown, the center of the head. The length you create here will determine the way you approach the rest of the haircut. Cut the hair to the length you want between your index and middle fingers, following the natural head shape and moving towards crown area, leaving the hair a little bit longer around the crown. Your guideline is now done. From now on, cut in sections next to guideline. When starting a new section, always take a little bit of hair from the previously cut section, as you can see here. This is how you will know the length to cut in the new section. Repeat the same technique, cutting section by section. Make sure to keep the hair wet when using scissors, as it will make it more easier to cut. Next, trim the bangs. Combing the hair forward, use the point cutting technique in order to get nicely texturized bangs, positioning the scissors sideways to achieve the proper angled cuts. But remember, wet hair shortens as it dries, so be careful not to cut too much. Next, styling and finishing. Firstly, be sure to comb out all loose hair and trimmings. Dry the hair thoroughly with a hairdryer. If you don't have a hairdryer, use a towel. Finish the look by using your preferred hair styling product. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this haircut tutorial and maybe learned something new. Make sure to leave any questions in the comments below and give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified when I post new content. Thanks for watching. Join us again for more tutorials.